Alright guys, 47 seconds.
Oh man.
Oh, breathe. Breathe.
Yeah, breathing.
Don't pass that on me.
Oh man, oh man. I was just trying to beat traffic coming here. I'm like,
That's
oh, my mind's all blank.
Clear your mind, clear your mind.
That's alright. I'll put a new sign.
Comes back to life, and the Socceroos on the brink of a World
Have you
Cup
done it
disaster.
before?
Yeah, second time.
Tonight,
With him?
Welcome back folks, 89.3 FM. I hope you guys are having an awesome Friday, and that song before that was Wham! Wake Me Up Before You Go, and Katy Perry's Starstruck. We have two special guests in the house today guys. Please put your hands together for Miss Phuong Fan and Andrew Kim. How you doing guys?
We're feeling great.
Awesome.
Thank you, very good.
I might get you guys to speak into the microphone for me, so I'll test it out.
Sure.
Phuong, can you say something?
Hi guys.
Awesome. Andrew.
Hello, 1 2 1 2.
I thought you were going to break out into a song for us again,
Oh.
you know? The Bachelor, the singing and everything else. Man of jack of all trade, right?
I'm trying.
You're trying. So, how you been guys? Phuong, let's start off with you. How's your week been?
Oh, my week's always been fantastic. Every
Yeah?
day's a Friday for me.
Oh, look at that. Talk about inspirational, right? Every day's a Friday. I
Wow.
like that. What was your week been, mate? How's that been?
My week was pretty busy. Very
Yeah?
busy with work.
Oh, work-wise. How's your business going?
Business going not too bad.
Yeah.
Bad. Slowly picking up. Slowly.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Andrew actually has a cleaning business, but also you, what else did you do before that?
I was doing personal training.
Personal training and a cleaning business as well, and man of all trade. You know, this is what I'm talking about: entrepreneurship, man of many talents, right here. You know. And also with that, we have Phuong here. And I know you guys are probably getting nervous again. I can sense it, I can feel it. Relax. There's
I'm
no
not
need.
nervous.
No
I'm
need
actually
to be
getting excited for Andrew. He's done this before. I haven't. So
Believe me, the last time Andrew was in here,
please breathe.
I'm breathing.
we have to ask him for his name. He had to
really?
pick up his phone to let us know. My name is Andrew Kim.
You didn't go white, did you?
No,
It's all on the phone.
It was on phone.
Oh, you're hilarious.
So you're a bit better today, right?
Yes.
It's all good. It's all good. So, folks, you know, we always wanted to be able to give people a platform to come into our program through Quirks and Turk to talk about what empowers them, what motivates them, and what actually makes them wake up every morning and sing, "Hallelujah, I'm alive." And this is something that I really wanted to provide a platform for. And today, again, folks, we have two fantastic guests here today to share the journey, to share the story, and what makes them tick, and what life is all about. So let's start off with Miss Phuong Fan here, and I know that you are very inspirational in what you do. You come highly recommended. You do a lot of empowering things. Tell us a bit about yourself and what is it that you do?
Oh, thanks, Davy. Gee, that was a great
Did
introduction.
you like that? Oh, wow, how awesome was that?
That was a kickstart to the
Kickstart?
evening.
Yeah.
So basically what I do is I actually speak out.
Yeah.
And I'm a co-founder of Empower TV, and I help motivate other people on YouTube, and I've been vlogging my journey because I came out of depression, anxiety and domestic violence. And I believe that you are not alone, that there are other people here who think that they are alone, they can't actually reach out.
Yeah.
And I am taking the international stage. I am studying as a student at Speakers Institute. They're my family, they're my mentors as well, and they are helping me provide my message out there to the audience.
Yeah. You mentioned that you had a very hard life. Was that before or was that during your marriage? Is that during the marriage and the relationship with your husband? Was that the case?
So I had a very good life. I've been with my ex-husband for 15 years. It was actually because we were running 3 businesses and I had a little girl at the same time as well. So it got rough near the end and depression and anxiety kicked in. So it was so stressed out that I didn't believe that I was living life. I worked in education for 15 years and I helped over 7,000 people uncover their purpose. Not only that, I travelled around Asia, around Australia, and helped people in terms of education. And I love doing that. And I love speaking to people about, you know, their future and their career goals. And then we ran a fitness gym. So
see that? YouTube has something in common, right?
a definite connection there. But it wasn't definitely something for me. I just didn't feel that running 3 businesses at the one time, and it's just life just disappeared.
But why? You mentioned like a lot of people's dream would actually be able to work for themselves, have 2, 3 businesses. What happened? Where did it go wrong?
Okay, so this wasn't my dream to run gyms. It
Yeah.
was my ex-husband's dream. So
Okay.
it was something that he wanted to carry on.
Mm.
He was a fitness junkie. That's what he wanted.
Yeah.
And as a partner wife, and especially when you've grown up in the Vietnamese tradition,
Yeah.
you follow your husband and you
Mm.
build an empire out of
Yeah,
it. So
yeah.
that's what we did. But that wasn't my dream. My dream
Okay.
is to help people, but it wasn't in the fitness industry.
Mm.
And I'm glad and I'm very fortunate that I actually had tapped into that area because I understand well-being, health and fitness.
Andrew, you actually come from the gym point of view.
Yes.
And what's your vibe about this conversation? Is it going south, north, or what is it?
Oh, it really depends on what the person's motives are.
Yeah.
But hearing from Phuong at the moment, like she was helping to support the husband's dream
Yeah.
and not following hers. But at the same time, it wasn't a matching color for her. But she's just trying to blend in and just to support as the culture, as she's mentioned before, traditional Vietnamese culture. You know, support the husband and support the wife. You know, yeah.
If you enjoy fitness and you're all about that, then absolutely. But unfortunately, it wasn't the industry because we ran a powerlifting strongman industry. I mean, the people are, you know, they have an interest. They love their sport, and that's great. But unfortunately, that's not the industry I wanted to be in. But you know, I do mixed martial arts. I do yoga, and that's something that I'm more interested in.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, like, I know sometimes it's very hard for in terms of relationship where someone have to actually back off and support the other partners. Now, in your case, Phuong, was that the case? Why didn't you actually be able to speak up and say, "Listen, honey, I love your dream, but I want to do something else"? Was there a situation in your life or a moment in your life where you can actually stood up and say you wanted to do something different?
I actually didn't stand up and say I want to do something different. I wanted to continue to empower and
Okay.
continue to build this business because his dream was to understand, to expand. But you know what? I didn't understand the word purpose.
Yeah. So you didn't understand the purpose. What was your purpose in life is all
That's
about?
right. I
Yeah.
didn't know until just last year actually to go through a journey and go, who am I?
Yeah.
What am I, you know, meant to be? Who am I supposed to be? Who am I supposed to help? And I realised life is not about me anymore. Life is about so much more.
Yeah. I guess in many ways, folks, is that situations like this, I mean, there are a lot of people out there going through the same situation as you. Whereas Andrew, on the other hand, he's actually been into the business, into the gym business for a while. And do you find it very hard? We mentioned this before, how hard it was to establish a business in the beginning,
definitely.
right? And do you think sometimes because of that it could cause a lot of friction within the relationship as well?
Well, yes, of course, definitely, because you got to sacrifice a lot of your time just to run the empire. So a lot of sacrifice with the family, friends, and a lot of sleepless nights, or not even going home and sleeping, just sleeping in the office. And you know, people think you're coming early. I'm like, just came here early, but actually didn't go home.
Yeah. Now, it's interesting, folks, is that we do know that starting a business can be very daunting at times. It can be very hard at times to set up. And I know that financially, a lot of businesses fail within the first 1 or 2 years. And from a lot of people, that can also create a lot of stress into a relationship. Now, going back to you, Phuong, so because of that business relationship, it didn't work. Is that the reason why you and your husband kind of went your own ways? Was there a lot of stress involved in that?
Goodness, there's a lot of variables in place.
Yeah.
When we ran the third business, I'm a risk minimizer.
Okay.
So I want to do research. I want to know what location. Why are we opening a business here? Because this is a big investment. You have to lease out a space. Now, because of first business went very well, the second business did very well, then he thought, because of those two, he thinks the next one's going to open very well.
Okay.
And unfortunately, that didn't turn out to be that way. So we had to close that business after a year.
Wow.
And that caused a massive financial debt in our pockets.
Yeah.
And because of that, and because of the long hours, we weren't communicating, and he was just very pushy, and he didn't like the ideas that I was putting forward to fix things. And it was its personalities started
Yeah.
to drive a part, I suppose.
Do you think sometimes it's an Asian mentality whereby we always wanted to conquer everything, 4, 5, 6 party business, but it doesn't matter what is the business underneath is going through, but as long as the outside world can say we've got 5 or 6 business, we come across as very successful. Is that the mentality of Asian community here, or individually?
Yeah. I believe it is. I believe that, I've got this, I've got that, but deep down you've got all this debt, but you're not showing it, you're not sharing, you're not telling people about it. And that's fair enough. That's your personal life. But when you do express that you need mentorship, or you need a team, or you need to grow, and that was my advice, was to change the formula of the business and the model, and to get more people. That would have helped.
For me, I reckon, because a lot of the Asian culture is all about, if you reach out for help, it's a sign of weakness.
Yeah, why is that, eh? Why is that?
I don't know why too, but for me, like, reaching out was really difficult, because, like, that's a sign of weakness, or a sign of, like, oh, you're not strong enough to make it in. But end of the day, reaching out, being vulnerable was also the benefit of running a business, and people do come and help.
Yeah, Asians tend to have this thing where we have to take everything on. We have to do it our way, and this is the only way to do it. But you know what? There's so many other.
It's my way or the
highway,
baby. Or the highway, baby. Why is that? And also what I found, you're right, Andrew, in a sense, an Asian mentality is like we don't want to reach out and ask for help. We don't. You're saying that if we do reach out for help, it's a sign of weakness, right? But it's actually not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of being very smart about it. Because these days you notice like a lot of business mentors, a lot of coaches out there. Now, going back to my situation and other business people, I do know that a few years ago, if I had someone to actually sit there and talk to and guide me, I wouldn't bloody fall down so many damn cliff. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But yet our Asian mentality, we don't seem to actually reach out and ask for help. What is wrong with us Asian people, guys? But guys, hit us up on our Facebook, 3 Quirks and a Turk, and we'll come back and have a further discussion with our 2 wonderful guests here. As always, guys, we're here to inspire you to take action and bring more colourful rainbows back into your life. So let's get you started with Flow Rider Whistle, baby.
Good.
It's all good. I didn't come prepared, so it's all good. I was like,
good?
Something's gonna happen. So I was listening to your story, and I was like, wow, that's awesome. I can really understand where you're coming from. So,
I was listening to Brene Brown. She's famous for being vulnerable. She did research about connection, and she became vulnerable through her 6 years of her research. And she did TED Talks on it, and I was listening to it. I was in tears because we have a thing about belonging. We don't know where to belong. We don't have it. We feel isolated still.
Yeah, you want to be in a community, in a tribe that accepts you and they don't judge you. Just say, you know what, we've been there, we've done that, we know where you're coming from, but hey, welcome aboard, you're part of us, we're going to uplift you. That's a beautiful thing. Thanks for sharing. It's cool. Brother, thanks for inviting me again, man.
No, good, all good, mate. You know, last time you were a bit nervous, so this time hopefully you're a bit more relaxed.
Maybe it's me.
You make me relax.
Plus, I'm like, oh, she's beautiful, and then she's got all
Do we have a dating service here now?
And I'm
I
thinking,
think his glasses are foggy.
oh, it's not there. Damn, I wasn't wrong.
We might have a dating match here. Let's do a dating service on
How much are you paying him?
Brother, I've got you covered, right?
Alright, brown envelope, alright?
Fantastic. David's just put us together. We have something in common.
See, the thing is, like, it's really good to be able to actually get people like you guys with the same mindset together. And I think the more mindset people we get together, the more powerful it is.
Yeah.
It's going to make the place a better place.
Yeah.
You know, because I just found that the world these days is full of sharks, and there's so many negative things out there. And I can feel it, I can sense it, and everything I do is always going to be positive. It's going to be positive.
And more for me, I just love listening. I just love listening, hearing what other people got to say.
Yeah, that's right. And that's the main reason why I set up this program, because like a lot of people previous to this program didn't have a place to come and talk. Didn't have a place to come share their visions and ideas and all that. And I thought, why don't I do something to allow people to come together and share and do that? You know what I mean? So that's why there's bigger plans in the future, guys. This is just a start.
And I love it. I love the community here.
A lot of things happening. this year I haven't slept yet. I'm trying to sleep and something else is coming on board. So I'm like, oh man.
Oh, yeah, because you were busy on the fish show.
And then, and that, and then Melbourne. Oh mate, there's been too many things happening. Get up, try. I want to get it up and dance a bit. So guys, the video is not wrong today, but the music is. So let's go.
Italians and the Greeks, and they taught me how to unlock cars,
Wire
cars.
Criminal.
Gangs of lost documents.
I didn't grow up out west like you, Davy.
I thought you would at least settle down with a Greek or an Italian back because Elwood's heaps of Italians, man.
Well, you know, mind you, my mum put it in me, don't know other cultures. Stick with the Asians because they're better. So I did, and then later, after my 7th year of my marriage, Mum dated an Australian, an Egyptian.
God, why don't you practice what you preach, mate? Seriously. Did you ring up now, Mum? Go, Mum, practice what you preach, woman.
Well, you know, like you educate them later on, don't you? It's a reverse.
Oh, wow, unbelievable. Unbelievable. I think what I've now found is a lot of people are dating Asian because they love our tradition and the way we brought up. A lot of them. And I found that's a good thing because a lot of people see the Asians as a very close family, close knit, and I see a lot of them dating Asian now more. That's a good thing.
An exciting new study on the early signs of depression is being run at the Brain
I'm dating non-Asian. I'm going to bring someone who's good. She said, "No, you gotta be Korean."
She must cook kimchi.
Kimchi, yeah.
It's called language barrier.
But is your parents pretty strict?
Yeah, they are, but then again, it's not going to stop me.
No, that's right. I guess all depends, isn't it? You just don't know who you fall in love with, right? It's just what happens overnight. You just don't bloody know.
My mum's friend came over from Canada, and she was telling me marry outside, right, of my culture.
Serious?
And then I said, you tell my mum that. And then so she was preaching for my mum, telling her and putting it in her head. It's better that they marry outside of our culture.
My sister's dating an English Chinese.
Every smile for the man who held your hand, pale moonlight. But don't for
last day for me.
Pass the mic to
can't you
No,
feel
it's not a
It's born with
Alright folks, we'll bring you in guys. Folks, welcome back to 89.3 FM. 3 Quirks and Turk. Our 2 guests here is trying to sing karaoke, but maybe I show them how it starts and now they're all embarrassed guys. Before that, MC Hammer, you can't touch this baby. Snoop Dogg, Peaches and Cream, and now Michael Bublé, Save the Dance for Me. Now guys, going back to our 2 guests. What was the funniest things that happened to you guys, eh? Who want to start that first?
So this is recently?
Yes.
Or,
Or recently, or you can go back 10, 20 years ago if you like. It's up to you.
Oh, okay. Alright, I'll try to keep this story short.
Yeah.
So, I was working in education and I was flying from Ho Chi Minh City to Hanoi and it was a domestic flight. And I was with about 20 of my other colleagues.
Yeah.
So I was reading The Happiest Refugee by Anh Do.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So I just found out I was pregnant 2 days prior to flying as well.
Wow.
So what had happened was I was so tired that I was reading his book on the plane that I put my passport in his book, put it in my front pocket. Long story short, I lost it.
You lost the book?
I lost my book and my passport.
How the hell did you lose your book and passport?
I woke up and I totally forgot that I had put it in my front seat of where I was.
Oh, where the airplane is.
Yeah, so my friend had a limo to the hotel, the Hilton Hotel, and the people there know who I am because I've been travelling for so long, and I'm so nice to staff as well. They know, oh, Miss Phuong, you're back. But I said, I don't have my passport.
Oh, no.
So everybody's been trying to call Vietnam Airlines.
Yeah.
And I said then and there, what would Angdo do in my position?
Yeah.
And because his story is such a sad story, but he's turned it into such a happy story,
Yeah, that's right.
that I decided I'm going to be positive.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay happy.
Yeah.
And I said, if I find my passport and my book, I'm going to hunt Angdo down. So the day that I had to fly to the next country, they found my book. I was in tears, obviously emotional because I was pregnant.
As you do. We guys know how you feel. Emotional, blackmailing us, you know, like they want fur at 2 a.m. in the morning.
No worries, I'll go get it for you instant, okay?
Or kimchi at 1, you know.
No worries, I'll get it for you.
So then what happened was I arrived back in Sydney. I opened up the MX newspaper. During that time, do you remember the MX newspaper when you get off the train station?
You're showing your true age.
I am.
We're still young, eh? We're still young. I'm only 19. Andrew is 18. We don't know what all that stuff is.
I just graduated high school.
So what had happened was, I opened up the newspaper. There was an article about a quarter of the page said Angdo's doing a comedy sketch and signing his book. And I just read, that's it. I'm gonna go down there and see him. Before you know it, that day had arrived. I was running down the hallway. Angdo! This pregnant woman going, who is this woman?
I know, I love you, love her. No wonder I gave you a filthy look, so would I.
So I told him my story.
Yeah.
And I thanked him for being so positive, telling his story and sharing his story, because a lot of the features that he had written in his book was similar to my life. And I thanked him, and I had a photo, and he signed it as well. So I just thought that was the funniest moment. Just this crazy woman running down, and Angdo's eyes were just lit up, going, "Who is this crazy woman?"
Do I remember you? You did last time in the room.
A stalker.
Andrew, can you beat that, mate?
Oh, definitely cannot beat that. But recent one was I was at a bookstore in West Ryde at a Christian Kurong bookstore.
Yeah. Did you guys actually ring each other and talk to each other? Because it's related to the same topic.
Okay,
just double checking.
So what happened was I was looking for like a gift for a friend who just recently got married. So I was just looking around and then picking up books and putting things back and checking things out. And one of the ladies come up to me and said, "Oh, I'm looking for this book, a gift." She thought I was one of the staff there, and then she was telling me, "I'm looking for this, looking for that. Can you help me?" So I was just listening to her, just like what she wanted, and I said to her, "Oh, actually, I don't work here, but if you ask one of the staff, they can help you out. But yeah, other than that, if you need any help too, feel free to ask me." I still pretended I was a staff there, which I wasn't.
Did it work?
It did work. It did work, and I told her, "Hey, did you find the thing you were looking for?" She's like, "Yeah."
Quick question, guys. Though, when I mention the word moon, what does that ring a bell to you guys? Like the moon, like is that something that you guys have a wild imagination? What it would look like, what it feel like to live up on the moon?
Wow.
Aliens come to your head when I mention the moon, spaceships and all of that.
I think of extraterrestrial, I think of aliens, I think of space, I think of time, and the moon's not, I feel like, I feel that in not so far distance, we're going to be able to get to the moon ourselves.
Yeah. So do you feel that one day human beings, we can actually colonize the moon?
Yeah, I think so.
I believe so.
Yeah. Well, apparently, Elon Musk, who's the creator of those electric cars, and he's in the process of actually developing a huge ship called the Mother F ship. That's how big it is, and that's going to take at least about 100 people up into the moon. And apparently he's working on his technology, and he feels that the moon is definitely where the human race is going to be. And the sad truth is that he's talking about how we humans are actually destroying Earth in terms of over chopping trees down, and we're not really looking after Mother Earth. And eventually we'll get to a point in time where Mother Earth won't be here no more, and people's going to move up into the moon. And then I thought about that. I'm thinking, what life would be like to be able to live up in the moon? And for a start, it's not like you can just go for a walk in the bush like what you were saying, Andrew. You take off and go for a walk around the moon. You probably get lost somewhere and not be found. So I'm just trying to visualize what it would be like to live in the moon, and even going shopping and working out at the gym. Would there be such a lifestyle similar to Earth here?
Technology changes, and we're so advanced. You have no idea what's going to happen. We might be just wearing spacesuits,
Yeah.
suits, you know, walking around. There might be just different sort of cars.
Yeah.
You know, our dreams and what we want to think and vision, our brain has this thing that we want to uncover.
Yeah, yeah. It reminds me of like the Jetson, like we watch the Jetsons,
Yeah.
you know, like everyone's just walking around.
Now you're showing your age, Davy.
I was watching, I was watching a cartoon on YouTube, right, the Jetsons. So,
what about the Matt Damon movie?
Which one's that?
The Mars. That was the
Not
Mars.
the Mars, the one that they're all trying to get to the moon, and there's no disease, and it's a whole new world. And
Yeah. And what was in there? Because sometimes I feel
I
that
think it was Equilibrium. Was it Equilibrium? I don't know.
And what was that about? What's the storyline?
Pretty much like people living on Earth trying to get
Yeah.
to the moon.
So that was
Because
it.
because Earth was dead and
Yeah.
there's new life in
Oh,
moon.
I haven't seen
yeah.
that.
And that's the storyline.
Yeah.
Was there
pretty
anything
much.
else between that?
It was pretty much people just from Earth just invaded the moon.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
I'll get
Very
back to you
simple
again next time,
storyline.
yeah.
Simple storyline. So, you know, we're going back to a lot of things also. What's the best thing in a lot of people say the best thing in life are free. Now, going back to what we talked about is the motivational stuff and all that. What do you feel is the best thing in life, and what is for free these days?
Our mind is free.
Yeah.
Giving your time without not expecting anything in return.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's the best time.
Yeah. But you know, going back to that at the moment, let's go back to your childhood now and think about what is it that you think, because a lot of people think the best thing in life for free is usually when the girls talk about shopping, right? They're happy with shopping and everything is good, right? But these days when we're growing up, a lot of things, I guess in many ways, is very complicated, right? And I was talking to a guest the other day and they were talking about how life has changed so much. Life is not as easy as we used to when they were growing up. Everything is so complicated these days. So what can we do? And I would love to hear your advice to our listeners out there. What can we do to de-stress our life and let's not make our life too complicated?
I think it's not overcomplicating things
Yeah.
and being frustrated. I meditate, so I find things a lot more easier simply just freeing the mind and keeping it still. And when you still the mind, you see things in a whole new angle.
Yeah.
And that had helped with depression and my anxiety and
Yeah.
with suicide. But that's the perfect way that I feel being free.
Wow.
Do you think money has got a lot to do with it? Do you think money it has a lot to do? Because a lot of people think they have money, they have freedom, they have love and all that. So do you two think that money will make you happy?
No, money doesn't make us happy. And
No?
I know that because I suppose the person that I had been with was driven by money.
Yeah.
And when we had so much money that didn't make us happy,
Yeah.
no, it didn't.
Yeah.
If you've got money, yes, it will help you, live comfortably, but it doesn't make you happy at all, bottom line.
Yeah.
What do you think, Andrew?
Just live a simple life.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is that statistics has proven that a good night's sleep actually does you wonders as well. You know what I mean? And surround yourself with positive-minded people.
Oh, absolutely.
Who actually is better than actually have money in your life. And they were saying that by building a good relationship with friends and having a very strong network with people who think the same like you, who are very positive, is actually outweighs having a flashy cars
Yes.
and more money. And that comes down to my point is that if that's the case, then what is it and why is it that people are constantly striving to get the biggest fancy car, the biggest house and everything? Are we actually looking at things in a wrong perspective, do you think?
We are, and I believe society has put that into us. I believe that we were growing up going, you have to have education, you have to have good business, work, a good job, and have a family, and then have property, and that's kind of like, oh, hold on, let's put life into perspective. But you know what we're missing is that we lose ourselves because we do have this feeling inside ourselves that we don't have a place of belonging, and it's the connection that we yearn for, and that's how I see. And you're absolutely right. Proximity is power. Being around people as well, having that mindset, because there's no price on friendship.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, also not to be a mediocre and just being a follower. You've got to be a leader. It's okay to stand out and be different,
Yeah, yeah.
And also just your identity is really important too, I believe so.
Do you, this is an interesting topic, Andrew. Do you think that these days a lot of people don't take enough action to make things happen in their life?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. They're more like to follow the crowd than to follow what's speaking truth inside them. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I found these days that the younger generation, they tend to want everything. They want to dream to have 3 or 4 business. They want to be this and they want to do that. But then my first question is, what are you doing to actually achieve that? And the answer is absolutely, I don't know. So I feel that a lot of people don't take enough action to make things happen. Now, would you two agree with that?
Yes, no, I definitely agree with that.
Okay.
And when I was working in education, a lot of kids didn't know what they wanted in life, but they didn't do anything because the thing is, a lot of these kids were brought up with a silver spoon, though, the ones I'm talking about, and everything's so easy to them that, you know, they can do whatever they want, but they don't know what they want, and they don't know how to find out what it is that they want, and what lacks that is because of action.
Do you think education, like a lot of kids, I know when we were growing up, a lot of kids at school, I guess in many ways, they weren't complicated with social media, they weren't complicated with cyberbullying. Do you find that these days cyberbullying is also a big issue linking to depression with children as well?
Absolutely, I believe research has shown that as well, and Facebook is, you know, Facebook is supposed to help you connect, but I feel like it's isolating each individual more so, and you're more on the mobile phone. We spend more time on our mobile phones than ever before.
That's so true,
And cyberbullying, you know, we don't know what happens behind closed doors, and because these kids don't want to speak out, then it's hard for us to help them. But if once they do, it opens up a lot more doors, and it does lead to, as I recall reading some of the papers, that their suicide rate is quite high.
It is quite high, that's right. It is quite high. I mean, we touched topic on this a few times, and there was a school in the country somewhere. They had like 2 or 3 suicide.
Yeah, right.
Because kids just can't handle school. Because like back then in the school ground, if someone hated you, they would call your names and this and that's where it stays. Unfortunately now, when someone really hated you, they go on social media, it's in your face day in, day out, and a lot of kids can't handle that. You know, and recently in Western Australia, another girl trying to cut herself because she feels that she can't handle the cyberbullying. So I'm thinking from you two and your point of view, is there something that we can share to our young listeners how to deal with bullying?
For me, dealing with the cyberbullying and all that, they just got to reach out for help regardless. And then there are people out there and programs out there to help people overcome it, and also people who can always give them a good mentorship and also good guidance through their journey. Because end of the day, they are developing emotions, they are still growing, and they are trying to find the belonging and the identity that. So for me, they just got to reach out, and it's okay to feel vulnerable.
I think what has to happen as well within schools is educate these kids. And put in a program, put in a safety, like with counsellors and coaches, and just be really informative with these kids. And kids should not be scared. They should have no fear about these things. And when these things do happen, that the actual teachers and the principal needs to be very supportive about this.
There you go, folks. You're listening to 89.3 FM. The weather this weekend looks fantastic. Friday 25 degrees, Saturday 22 degrees, and Sunday 24 degrees. Possible shower. Hit us up on our Facebook, 3 Quirks and Turk. Let us know what you are going to do this weekend. But for now, let's get some music started with Mr. Hudson, Forever Young.
Half an hour left.
I've been bullied in high school too, so I know what it's like, you know. So reaching out is really important. And then actually the teacher sent me to the counsellor's office. Didn't know what a counsellor office was. Ended up being very positive. I'm like, wow. You know, they're teaching you goal setting, weekly planning, emotional control, things like that. So I felt like something bad led to something good.
Which school did you go to?
I went to Oakhill College, Castle Hill.
A lot of white people there. Is that why you got picked on?
Got picked on, back then it's like, because I was brought up in Auburn, Lidcombe, and suddenly I'm in Castle Hill area, and you got all these bunch of rich kids from the farm and like corporate, so there's not many Asians there. But for me, I wanted to do what's right, you know, make my parents proud, you know, get good grades and get a good son, you know. But at the same time, I was developing emotions that I didn't understand, like depression, anxiety, all these, like suicidal thoughts and all that kind of thing, right? and then getting picked on at school. I didn't want to cause any violence, so I just kept it cool, you know, just ignored it, done the best I can. But one day I just snapped, I had enough. You know, when you had enough, it's enough, and the teachers couldn't control it too. So they sent me to a counsellor's office, and I was like, ended up having a great time. That was the best time.
That's so good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's why I just think people have just got to reach out. Really, it's just our
Speak
Asian.
out. Speak out.
Yeah, and speak
yeah.
out. Our Asian mentality is like we either don't speak out or get aggressive.
Yeah, it's the pride. It's all
Yeah,
got to do with
Right.
pride. Yeah.
Brene, I think that's how you pronounce her name, Brown, says it's shame. You don't want to be shamed.
Yeah, that's it. Shaming guilt.
Shame and guilt.
Thanks a lot, sister. That was awesome. Yeah.
Do you want a sister?
Yeah.
Big family now.
Family now, see? You've been adopted, see? You're all welcome to the family now. Yo, baby.
It's like I got a little Vietnamese kid in my heart, you know.
Yo, một trăm, yo!
Yo!
What's your last name?
Kim, K-I-M.
So, okay.
I am Korean, but I grew up eating Vietnamese food.
How's that?
Oh, because I love pho, I love the rice paper, and we got the Korean rice pepper fusion, our Korean style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
copying the.
Yeah, copying the Vietnamese, but like a buffet, you know.
But you know, it's healthy food. Isn't
It is very healthy, so. Oh, man.
What's your favourite Vietnamese dish?
Pho.
High calories,
Yeah.
high carbs.
Perfect.
That's the only thing I know.
Good
And
for hangovers.
It does, actually.
It is,
It
it
does.
is.
I swear, I never knew that. Don't get drunk.
So he's had a lot of long nights.
Yeah, and in the morning go eat it. It's like, oh, I think sort of proteins and all that from the meat. It's just like replenishes.
Then you skip the withdrawal sweats and you gotta go back home and sleep again.
It's funny, when I was working in education, Chris, he would say, I think I've had a big night, let's go have pho.
Yeah.
You've had a big night, where was I?
You would have invited me.
Wait, because he's Australian Polish and his clients were Korean, so soju all the way.
Oh, yummy.
Trust me, nowadays it's either Korean hot pot or the pho. People have to pick.
Oh,
Yeah,
In
that's
Stratford,
yummy.
Yeah.
you got the.
I love Stratford. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm really hungry.
Yeah, me too. What's the white, not white,
The white
alcohol?
rice, the white looking.
Yeah.
Makgeolli is a
Makgeolli, that's it. I
Makgeolli.
love that.
It's a rice wine.
So cute.
That's like roulette.
Yeah,
the
but that
Vietnamese
was,
one.
that was better.
Yeah,
That one tastes better.
That stuff you gotta
Yeah.
have it with the pancake rice, the pancake. The
Really?
sifted,
I didn't know that.
Is it?
Pancake.
You get drunk so easy on that too.
Yeah, that one does.
Yeah.
My grandma used to make it at home. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, what's
What?
this?
What? Really?
Yeah,
It's so good though.
it's good. Oh, trust me, I've got all the connection with the vice president who does all the business that for those company.
Wow.
Let me know if you want any. Oh, for the next time, I'll let you know. I'll organise it for you, cheaper price.
What's that one? That's for a tour?
No, because he runs all the Korean beer,
Yeah.
soju, and the white
Yeah,
wine. That's
yeah.
his company.
Yeah.
So I can always ask him for a cheaper deal for
Yeah.
corporate events.
See that?
Oh, I thought you were going to say you bring it in, so we all can have it.
Oh yeah, that's corporate deal. That's corporate deal. I did not put through sponsoring. Bring it in, we're sponsoring. Free advertising.
I'm like, bro, I need some free soju, free.
Yeah,
this."
we're gonna
Oh,
promote you on
yeah,
air.
We'll promote you on air.
How funny. Alright.
We're getting pitch drunk, and the next time we'll take a have fun.
Oh man, that's it, that's it.
We'll schedule it that way.
I remember working at a Take Two event, like an alcohol promotion, and then my interview was, hey, try this sake, tell me what it's like, and I'm drinking it, empty stomach. I was like, oh, it's really good, I'm getting drunk. For my job interview.
Oh my god.
I got the
Do
job.
well. Boost your confidence,
Yeah,
right?
I got the job.
Yeah.
Oh. See?
Sake
It
testing.
boosts your confidence.
Yeah. And then, because it was like one of those alcohol events, you know,
Yeah.
how they got alcohol conference, you got the Red Bull, and
Yeah.
you got all different
Yeah.
types of alcohol company, and that was it. And
Wow.
my job was to sell alcohol and then during breaks drinking alcohol.
Oh, how cool is
Different
that?
places. Oh man,
How cool is
that
that?
was so good.
Can you imagine? I could not imagine working in that industry.
I
I'd
love
be.
I'll be drunk every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
That's
With
a broken drunk.
reality.
Yeah, that's right.
It's all like president, vice president, managers,
Yeah.
hotels, RSL, like any places with beverages.
Did you do sales?
Yeah, I was just doing sales and
Yeah.
promoting the Japanese
Brand.
sakes. Yeah,
Yeah,
brand,
sake.
yeah.
I like the sake is a bit different. It's very flat. I like it more warm.
Yeah,
I
me
like
too.
it warm.
But they say don't have it warm because it kills all the alcohol level content. Yeah, that's why they say have it. I love it warm.
Yeah.
Have it cold, they say.
No. It depends. You gotta have it with the right temperature and with the right food. Because I used to work at a Japanese fusion restaurant,
Okay.
and my manager was a sommelier. So
Yeah.
that's how I learned my
Because
wine.
my friend whose wife is Japanese,
Yeah.
he told me, because
Yeah.
he's Vietnamese, he told me not to have it heated.
Oh yeah, it depends what sake you're having.
But I mean, talking about the sake that is warm, that you're supposed to keep it warm.
Ah yes.
But you said still it's not good. I'm like, yeah, okay. Reduces the alcohol content levels.
Damn. I like sake, but I like the Korean one better.
Oh, soju.
Yeah, soju.
They got
can't
flavored.
do that.
They got flavored ones.
Yeah.
I've had very bad nights on soju. Very bad.
Yeah. Did you actually enjoy the flavour or not?
Now I can't
No?
touch it.
Yeah.
Now I can't. It's sake I can, but soju, if I put that near me, I'm like, oh!
Did you have it with just?
bad nights.
Have you tried some? These soju and a bit of Coke. Like.
With a Coke?
Yeah. There's a cup, soju cup in there. Pour it with the beer and.
Okay, we're gonna strap it right now.
I'm teaching you guys how to drink it, and then put it. Mix it.
Alright, we want to have a special session on that next time on radio.
I'll be like bring chicken and
Bring it in.
Chicken.
And a chicken.
Soju.
And a chicken.
We got deep fry, we got the marinated deep fry.
And a chicken, the beef. And I love the beef.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
But the Korean way in Korea is you do like food, traveling from different restaurants, but with alcohol as well.
Yeah.
Because one of the last stops is soju with chicken only.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much, yeah. Or sometimes we just end up in like just a hot pot and just eating and then soju again.
Oh.
or the next morning.
I remember being at Stratford and these two guys were like sitting there and literally they were numb and he was just drooling.
Oh.
Like you could just see it.
Couldn't
He
drink.
could not drink, he could not pick up. So he would be disappearing in the toilet quite sometimes.
Man,
Koreans drink like crazy.
we need to teach you how to drink
Oh.
properly, not just like a menu.
I'll bring you in. Good afternoon, folks, and welcome back to Three Quirks and a Turk. I don't know what happened there. This song just went through to International Love, was meant to be playing, but before that, Enrique Hero. We're having a really good intermission talking about drinking, food, and more drinking. I'm kind of hungry, and I'm kind of like, I wish that we have some grog here. So, what drink that we were talking about before? Soju, wasn't it?
Soju, makgeolli.
So you were telling us a cocktail with soju. How does that work, man?
Cocktail with soju.
Yeah.
Pretty much you get a glass and a shot of soju,
Yeah.
pour a bit of beer in, and then a bit of Coke or Sprite,
Yeah,
and then you mix it, and then
Okay.
you drink it in one shot.
and that's
One
it.
go, yeah,
Wow.
and it
How,
tastes amazing.
how big is your shot, by the way?
Oh, it's just a
It's
a
like-
normal glass
A glass.
and a shot of soju in the soju glass, you know.
Right. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Sounds
That
big.
sounds good, eh? I feel like going for a shot or two now. Sounds interesting. Guys, well, what's your view on e-therapy? I mean, like, we all seem to be so busy these days with our lives, right? And a lot of people don't actually have time now to actually go and see doctors. They don't have time to go and see the counsellors. And they're actually using online, like Skype, Zoom, Messenger to communicate with their doctors now. Do you guys think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
It's up to every individual, isn't
Yeah.
it? So if you're really, really sick and you can't get out, then if you don't want to go out of your home,
Yeah.
you're really isolating yourself from
Yeah,
human touch,
but we're talking about, you're not sick, right? We're talking about you're going to see your psychologist, or you see your GP, or your mentors in that case. Like, a lot of people now feel like they want to use social media. We'll touch base on social media before.
Yeah.
Now it feels like we're losing that human connection now, whereby we don't even want to go and see someone and talk to them. We rather use the phone, we rather use Zoom and Skype to talk to people. So what's your view on this, guys? Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing? I'm not sure. To me, I think it's a bad thing because you're losing that human touch.
Yeah.
The interaction's not there, the emotion's not there.
I gotta agree with you, Davey, because
Yeah.
I can't just communicate through like that webcam or anything like that. I
Yeah.
need to be there in person and
Yeah.
get the vibe and
Because humans, we're based on trust, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
So how...
And eye contact.
Yeah.
The eye contact, the body language.
Absolutely.
So you're using social media online, you don't really understand or connect with that person because you can't see the body language. You can't see the eye connection. You can't feel the vibration. We're talking about vibration, you can't feel that, you know what I mean? So I don't know what your views on that, but I just think that's something that's, it's a big thing at the moment. And a lot of doctors are saying they actually don't like that because of the fact that they don't really understand what's going on. And also a lot of mentors, and they're doing a lot of social media stuff to communicate with each other, and again they feel that they're losing that magical touch, that interaction. So I don't know, I just think that if that's the case, is that a good platform for other mentors to utilise, or is it not a good thing? I'm not sure. What's your view on that, James?
Yeah, no, I if it was in my situation, I'd rather see somebody, because you're getting the whole energy there. You're getting, absolutely what you're saying is analysing somebody from head to toe. And if you're doing it through a webcam, it's very hard to actually see the whole picture. Yes, I can see that person, but really, you know, behind the camera, I could be saying one thing and they could be saying another thing. And there's no connection. So I don't know how to connect on that level. I mean, with the other coaching sort of sessions, it's very different. But this, we're talking about your health.
Yeah, that's right.
We're talking about you as a being and well-being here.
Yeah, that's true. I highly agree with you.
Okay, what was the last gift you actually gave to someone?
Last gift?
The last gift you actually gave someone. Whether it be a kiss, whether it be a hug, whether it be a present, whether it be a word or something that you actually pass on to someone.
So I've got 5. So there's 5 love languages. So
5 love languages.
So there's 5 love languages, right? So
are you not being dirty now? Are you? I just want to clarify that. This is still kids show. All right, please explain.
Yes. So with myself to my daughter, I'm words of affirmation and I'm kinesthetic. So I'm sort of physical touch sort of person. So I give my daughter lots of hugs. And because as a human interaction, that's what I didn't have a lot when as a child. And for me to teach her that she can express how she feels, but giving me hugs and kisses, that's something that, you know, Asian parents would go, that's way too much, you're smothering her. But
true.
I believe that through love, through that sort of interaction, that she can actually build on the confidence level as well. And showing love, that sort of emotional side, shouldn't be hidden. It should be shared. But I am sort of person who I meet somebody, it's not just a handshake, it's like a hug generally.
A kiss.
But in a professional, level.
Maybe. I'm ready. Let's start again.
Don't get too excited now. But at a professional level, it's, you know, a handshake or whatever it is.
Andrew, what do you think? Do you like the hug, the kiss, or just a handshake?
I like the hug and the handshake.
I like both. But why is that our Asian mentality is that we don't like to hug, we don't like to show emotion? Why is that? I don't understand this. And I think in many ways, a lot of the young generation also feel lost in many ways because their parents don't express that love to them. Their love is like, go in your bloody room. Or I'm cooking for you, I'm buying you this, that's my love. But they don't actually hug you and kiss you and tell you that.
And you know what, they lack words of affirmation. They don't tell you that I love you. Because when I was brought up, I know my mum, one of her love languages is act of service. Through cooking, through cleaning. But she wouldn't say it every single week or every month or anything like that. But I know that she loved me. But it was just expressing, and I believe it's because they weren't taught that way. It's just the society in itself.
That's right. So, in one sense, then, what do you wish for yourself in the future, Andrew?
Me, just in the future, just to be better towards other people, but more in a loving and generous way, with warm-hearted, not being closed or what is it? Having a restriction, just being open about it. And just being genuine. I think that's really important. Instead of having this, you got to put on this mask or this different identity.
But isn't that our society these days? Everyone's wearing masks. Everyone's just hiding their deep emotion and just put a facade in the front.
That's right.
How are we going to overcome that? I mean, like, how can we overcome that when half of the population is like that? They're always wearing masks and we don't really know who they are no more. You know what I mean?
That's a tough one. So, but for me, just be you and be true all the way.
Awesome. Be true.
For me, it's through Speakers Institute, which I actually thank them for this. I want to be able to empower millions of people, and that is my aim. And it's for me, it's a ripple effect. If I empower one person, that person will empower other people.
That's right.
And that's for me, it's about making a difference. So at the end of the day, at least I'm living life to the max, and I know that I wake up that somebody out there is happy.
Oh, awesome, awesome. And do you actually go out of your way? I know sometimes it's hard when you're in a situation like us. We're all very happy, positive person. You know, we're always like that. But when you find it hard sometimes dealing with people who are not like you, who are always negative, who are always angry with life, how do you deal with that?
I usually have a look and I'd be very empathetic. I mean, yes, you need to have a look at the past and the history. Why are they like that? So I share my story with people, and what happens is they start to open up. And for them to open up and tell me a little bit more, I start to break it down for them, and they start to go, oh, okay, hold on, there's more to life than meets the eye. But a lot of these people require coaching as well. You know, it's not just a one-off have a conversation. So, you know, if you're in a situation like this, ask yourself, are you happy? Do you want to be happy? Where do you want to see yourself in 5, 10 years' time? Do you want something better for your family? Because at the end of the day, the honest truth is being happy, that is priceless.
Andrew?
Well, there's only a certain limit that you can do to reach out and help people, right? So if you for me, I'll reach out my hand and be there for people out of my way. But the thing is, I'll do the best I can to help. And I'll also, just as Phuong said, share your story, your vulnerability, and your struggles, how you overcome it. But end of the day, if the people are not willing to reach out and come and help them get back up, but you know, if they're gonna drag you down, then you gotta learn to cut down the rope.
That's right. You got it.
So cut the rope, let it go.
Let it go. That's it.
There, guys. If you want to share any of your stories with us, please hit us up on our Facebook, 3 Quirks and Turk, and we'll be right back after this. Will Smith, Jiggy with it, baby.
Nice.
Oh my God, why is it so quick?
Hey?
Why is it so quick?
We having fun? Very quick.
Wait, I'm having fun. I'm just like, I'm a guest in might be great.
On your mark, ready, set, let's go. Dance floor pro, I know, you know, I go psycho when my new joint hit. Just can't sit, gotta get jiggy with it. That's it, we hit the come ride. KNY, all up in my eyes. You got a Prada, bag with a rider. Stuck in it, to your friend, let's spin it. Everybody great, every place in the kid. Wish your name was dancing the jig, hit it with this hand.
Yeah, she's on. She's at a nice beach. How I saw.
She's my social.
Is this your babe?
Yeah, she's doing social stuff for me.
I gotta say, if it wasn't for Maggie, I wouldn't be here too.
Well, there you go.
Oh, how did you meet Maggie?
I met her at one of the Entourage events.
Entourage? Is that the one in the city?
The one, it was held in Parramatta, and then Peter Lakovich was my sales coach a long time ago.
Yeah, so was mine.
Oh!
So when I was looking at education, him and what's the owner? Jack Delosa, right?
Yeah.
So my mentor who died, who killed himself in depression, I worked alongside with him. I didn't know he was going through depression. I mean, I understand there was a lot of stress, and this is why I do what I do as well. But we agreed to have them, and they taught 50 of our students, and I sat there through the whole 4-day they were providing. Peter Lakovich, he's not a bad salesperson. But I have my favourite salesperson. But he's young and he's vibrant, he's got energy. But Jack Delosa, he's a bit arrogant.
Yeah, he sounded arrogant.
Yeah, he's got a bit of an ego to him. So the Entourage, I've been to their events in the city, and they used to hold big seminars. But they've got a bit quiet now. But yeah, I remember his sales thing when I do my thing is brakes and accelerate. Let go of the brakes, let them go with the brakes, turn the red light to green light. So you know that when you're having a conversation on the phone, you can't convert them in 10 minutes.
Oh
It takes 20 minutes to convert with you.
Yeah, because one of their sales team trying to like tell me you gotta do it now. Now's the time to invest. I'm like, hey buddy, you don't know me. I don't even know you. You can't just try and close this with me. But thank goodness, thank God for the coaching that I've done in the past. It helped me to not to like jump into it, emotions.
Yeah, but with the Entourage, they have a very low rate of success. But because a lot of people withdraw from the program.
Oh, right.
Because they would have learned everything and then it's just too full on for entrepreneurs. So their attention's not very high. Because Phil, do you know Phil?
Oh, you're one of the guys who was managing there? I don't know.
He's an Asian guy.
I have no idea.
But he uses Entourage as a help out that all does meetings at the
Oh, yeah.
and he hangs out with Jack DeLoso every now and then. So. The Entourage, it's, you know, I think there's other programs out there that's probably much more better.
Definitely, yeah. Oh, if there is, let me know. Oh, your program.
You know what? There's a lot of online education programs out there. So I'm looking at seeing whether I want to build passive income that way. That's something you could do for premium.
Yeah, I've got to build passive income for that. So I've got like a few staffs at the moment. So it's small right now, but starting from scratch.
Yeah,
Everything I've learned to now, my mentor is just stripping everything there. Every wall there. It's an A1 promotion product company. A1 promotional company. In Silverwater, so they do all this embroidering and all that. Everything. So yeah, he's a good Christian guy too. But he's just been teaching me everything. Step by step, everything.
That's what you need, that sort of support system.
Yeah. That's what I'm really grateful. Really grateful.
And you find it's working for you?
It's a lot better, better. I tried my way and the way the world helped me.
Yeah.
By the end of the day, I there was no other options I can turn to. So this guy's very spiritual. He's my spiritual director too.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm going with it. I'm just laying all out.
No, that's good. I mean, sometimes you'll start from scratch. Yeah, and at least sometimes there's someone actually there holding your hand, guiding you in the right direction, showing what's right and what's wrong. Whereas Pew's for that, a lot of people are just like don't know where or what to do. So if someone's actually gonna stand by and help you, stuff like that, mate, take it on board.
Yeah, he's helping me. So because other people they want money off you, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't have that X amount that they want.
No, that's fair enough. You can start somewhere.
Yeah, you just got to surround yourself with people who can actually help you, but you have to give as well.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Don't just take.
There's
There's
people that just take.
take that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, I deal with a lot of those people,
Gotta have a good discernment next time. Like, oh, sorry, mate.
Because a good leader is a leader that serves.
Yeah, definitely.
And people don't understand that.
Because back then when I was running my own business in the fitness industry too, suddenly everyone just picking everything, and when I asked them for help, they wouldn't.
That's right.
I was like, what have I done wrong? I built this really hard.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people like that up there. I come across a lot of them,
That's why I'm so happy I'm with you guys.
Yeah, I come across a lot of those kind of people, and sometimes you just gotta let go. Like you can't just try to hold them, gotta cut. I try to help so many people, and I mentioned the action because I found a lot of people don't take action, and they just want this, and that, and I'll say, well, what's the action? What are you planning to do to get there? And they can't answer that. A year later, instead of doing that, well, I'm sorry, I'm wasting my time.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, serving, I'm always there to serve people, I'm always there to help them, I always put myself second to them. But yet sometimes the people I help to mentor get to a certain point, the ego gets in their way.
Oh yeah.
And then they're like, they turn around and backstab you. I'm thinking, that's not how you repay for my generosity, my time. This is through politics, this is through business, I can see it. And now I can see that kind of vibration, I can sense it, and I just, you know what, sometimes you best just cut loose and just move on.
Yes,
There are a lot of people like that in the world, a lot.
But I didn't want to talk about my ex-husband in that way so much in life, but he was exactly like that. Even though I was helping him, and he just, every time I put through my 10 cents, we should do Facebook advertising, this is how we actually do it. He said, but you got a big budget. No, we started off small. We started with 20 students at
that's right.
But it was just the ego.
It's ego.
I've done it. You just got on board. It's kind of like, whoa, I'm just.
It's all that I've done. It was all me.
It's all me.
I'll bring that topic in. That's a good conversation. I'll bring it in. Welcome back, folks. 89.3 FM, 3 Quirks and Turk. As always, guys, we're here to inspire you to take some action. We're here to bring you colourful rainbows back into your life. So if there's anything you want to talk about, touch base on, please hit us up on our Facebook, 3 Quirks and Turk. Now, during the intermission, we were talking about taking action and how we need to be vulnerable and help other people. And our guest here also mentioned that sometimes we just got to learn to let go. Because sometimes there are people out there who cannot be helped. Is that right, guys?
That's true.
Cannot be helped. And I guess in our circle of friends, we're also very positive, very helpful. And I guess in many ways, we're here to serve our friends and help other people. And I guess all of us in many ways have been there and done that. And we can see that some people are there for themselves. They're not there to help other people. And I guess the word of advice, folks, is in many ways, just let it go and don't be personal. Is that right, guys?
That's right, absolutely.
Yeah. Also, guys, I want to ask you guys 3 Quirks and a Turk quiz.
Oh,
So I hope you guys are ready for this. Nothing crazy, alright, nothing crazy. But you know, the first question maybe to Phuong is that, would you rather go about your normal day naked or fall asleep for a whole year?
oh, that's easy. I'd rather walk around naked.
Oh, okay, good.
There's no fear.
Okay, Andrew?
Well, what's the duration for this?
What, you either go naked for a whole day,
Yeah.
or you fall asleep for a whole year, like Sleeping Beauty.
I already just go naked too, like Phuong.
Oh, well, I'd rather go to sleep.
one year of sleep, waste of year.
That's right.
No, I believe you should be expressive and get yourself out there and you should be heard.
Alright, guys, let's go.
Getting
Get hot in here.
No shame.
So what about describe your life using a film title? What film would you be? And who would you want that person to act out for you?
Oh, that's hard.
This is not a quiz.
It's a quiz. I tell you what, I will be Lord of the Ring. I love the rings because there's a lot of mystery, a lot of darkness, a lot of happy story, and a lot of heroes in that. And I probably want to be the wizard, the wise old wizard with the hair with magical powers.
Oh,
yes.
that's fantastic.
Your turn, Phuong.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, yes. Why?
Why? I watched it with my daughter actually, and we dressed up as Wonder Woman and Wonder Girl, and that she's a hero. She's empowering other women.
Yes.
She's a leader. She's fighting for what she believes in.
But one thing I got so annoyed, right, when I watched that movie, like her mum told her not to go and save that guy, right?
Yeah.
And what did she do? She go and save that guy, and all the Amazon women got killed. I'm like, if only she listens to her mum, right, then none of those people would be dead, right? Why is it they're so stubborn sometimes? I don't get it.
That's just women, no?
But that's true. Empowerment, Wonder Woman, no, that's true. She's actually quite a good actress, actually.
She's very good.
She's really good. Andrew?
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Oh.
Life's like a box of chocolate. Is that right?
That's it, that's true. No, I just like the whole story, and to be honest, when I first watched that movie, I thought it was a true story. Like back then, I was just a kid, I was still young. I was like, oh man, that guy, wow, it's amazing, inspirational. So I really liked his character too.
Yeah, fantastic. Guys, the time is up for us to bid our guests farewell. Phuong, thank you so much for being here with us today, sharing your wisdom and your empowerment story. Andrew, as always, mate, welcome back here. We'd love to see you growing so much. And we're all looking forward to the entrepreneur event, the masquerade ball. I hope you guys are ready. I hope you guys are bought your mask and all that. So guys, as always, X out the negatives in your life. Stay strong, be positive. We'll be back here next week, same time, same channels. Have a nice weekend and see you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks. Wow. Done.
Done. Awesome. Thank you
All
so
good.
much.
And Andrew's from BUB True Cleaning Company, and we've just done a radio interview together, and he's absolutely amazing and very inspiring. So thank you so much for sharing the
Not a problem.
studio with me.
Likewise.
Any advice that you want to give?
Guys, don't give up. If you have a dream, go for it. Don't listen to negativities. Don't listen to other people's opinion and make that become a reality, okay? Stick to your guns, alright? Thank you.